Hey and welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to present you a copper arc stove. So the stove is pretty powerful as you see here, and as long as there is something to heat above the flame, it seems to be pretty blue, and this means that it will not much dirt up your cooking equipment or whatever you're going to heat. So as you can see, if you saw any of my previous videos, this stove is made out of the residues of the ultimate alcohol stoves, as well as a soda can bottom part made extra for the stove. And I think I burned some paper in it, and that's why the colors all burned up, and there's this goo at the bottom which actually dissolves in alcohol, you'll see soon. And for the top part, there's just the top part of the ultimate alcohol stove that laid around for half a year. So I planned to make this video for half a year, but somehow I didn't manage to make anything like this. I did a lot of chemistry. I don't know if anyone is interested in, but I don't really care much about. And here you see the main part of the stove, which is a 180-degree bent copper pipe with a 1.5 millimeter hole directly through at the top. So I just drilled through. There's actually tin on, but I don't know where it's come from. I just got this pipe somewhere. And in those two bottom holes we later put in some cotton, which has some capillary effect because of the whole bunch of the little fibers, and it draws up the alcohol into the tube where it will vaporize because of the heat of the tube and shoot out of the hole in the top. So the other two tubes, or the capped ends of them, they are just there to plug the holes. So you know, from the ultimate alcohol stove it had 4 holes. Here I would need just 2 to stick the pipe together. So the hole in the middle isn't needed at all, but I'm pretty lucky that I left it open because this is pretty much a closed system, and as it heats up and their pressure builds up and there's always some air inside, and at some point this stuff might ignite and then pop, and because there's this hole, pretty much everything can pop out of this hole. Otherwise it might pop apart the stove while it's burning, and if then some alcohol is coming out with the top lid, it might splash around burning alcohol, which I'm not very favored of. So now I'm going to prepare the cotton pieces. I just use ordinary toilet paper, and they will be there to suck the alcohol up. So I think this is one of my last stove videos. Maybe I'll make another which will be a wood gas stove, but I'm not sure about this now because I pretty much went through most designs. I thought they are worth trying, but I really don't recommend this one for survival usage or anything similar to this, not even for lab usage. So the ultimate alcohol burner was a great lab burner. This one isn't. It makes a bit larger flame and has a bit more power than the ultimate alcohol stove, but the flame isn't as clear, and obviously it has severe disadvantages, like it's a pressure stove, so it's a lot more dangerous to run the stove. Probably because the alcohol is not soaked in some stone here, it's just floating around freely, which can lead to some problems if you turn over the stove or if it just falls on the side. And it needs to be preheated with a torch. And you can't preheat it with a match, or so maybe you would need 100 matches, and that's pretty annoying. So I don't need a stove which I need to preheat and then use it. I just want to ignite it with the little spark I might get, and then I want to have the stove burning. Additionally, you can see that this stove in particular sometimes has some self-regulating issues, but as long as the flame in the bottom is there, it will still reignite the flame coming out of the top. And the flame that's coming out of the bottom of this pipe will heat up the pipe to drive the alcohol out of the top. For this little stove, the flame is pretty high. And I will turn off the lights, and then you can see the flame in its full brightness. The only problem with that flame is that it's partially yellow, and if a flame is yellow, it means that there's larger carbon particles and polyaromatic carbons and whatever inside, and they're starting to stink, so it's not a clear flame like from a blowtorch. And it's a sign that there's no complete combustion. So the ultimate alcohol stove had an entirely blue flame, and it did not stink and did not cover everything in this black goo like this one does. But as I showed in the beginning, if you put something above it, miraculously this yellow part of the flame disappears. I hope you enjoyed it, thank you for watching, and apparently I did not include the footage where I turn off the lights, but I think you can still see it pretty well.